Let me start right off the bat on this one. You see this highlight reel, the pure dominance, an athletic 7-footer who can move so quickly and having this incredible agility. Oh, and he only weighs 325 pounds. That's around 150 kilos or 2 Steph Currys. So tell me, judging by these highlights, how many MVPs did Shaquille O'Neal win in his career? The mind-blowing answer is 1. In this episode, let's revisit one of his best seasons, which hasn't translated into an MVP award. As mentioned in other episodes on this topic, these videos are not a knock on the actual winner, but I'll just try to make a case why other candidates deserved to win the MVP in a particular season. But before we start, if you enjoyed this content, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe buttons. You get extreme power, speed, footwork and entertainment in a single player. This is Shaq in 2001, a year removed from his first NBA championship and from his single MVP season. Many voices around the league have spoken about him deserving more than a single MVP, and while Shaq himself is bitter about the 05 MVP race, in which he finished runner-up to Steve Nash, for this episode I want to make a case on why he deserved the award in 2001, the year when Allen Iverson was selected the MVP. Before any Iverson fans dislike this video, let me tell you that AI is one of my favorite all-time players, and he deserved the MVP recognition for multiple reasons. That year, Iverson led the Philadelphia 76ers to the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference. He led the league in scoring and steals, and he gave hope to all short people around the world that a 6-foot guy can perform at a high level in the best basketball league. So, you might ask, why do I consider that Shaq got snubbed of the MVP award in 2001? Well, because aside from the eye test, let's dig into the individual stats of these two players. Here you have the season averages of Shaq and AI. One is player A, the other player B. Just by comparing these numbers, who would you choose? I'll wait for your answers in the comment section below. So, player A is Shaq and player B is Iverson. I mentioned earlier that Iverson led the league in scoring with 31.1 points per game. However, Shaq was not far behind him, as he finished third in the league, after averaging just 2.4 points less than AI. Not only that, but Shaq took 6 shots per game less than Iverson during the season. Furthermore, let's take a closer look at the efficiency in which these numbers were posted. The gap in field goal percentage between these two is as wide as the Grand Canyon, and as you can see, Shaq's percentage is 15.2 points better. Definitely these two had different games, as Iverson shot the ball from all over the court, while Shaq was getting his points by breaking rims, so their percentages will surely be disproportionate. We have modern day centers who post absurd field goal percentages. Example, Rudy Gobert, who is a career 65% shooter, but only averages 12 points per game. The thing about Shaq is that he brought both efficiency and volume with his game, as he averaged almost 29 points for the season. Going forward, Iverson averaged just 0.9 more assists per game than Shaq, so basically they created extra points at a very similar rate. The rebounds discussion doesn't even make sense, as Shaq almost has a double-digit advantage on this category, all while finishing third in the league in this department. Now, talking about...
Practice? We're talking about practice, man.
No, not practice. Talking about defensive stats, what I like to do is combining the steals and blocks averages in a single stat named stocks. And while Iverson was the league leader in steals, Shaq finished second in blocks for the season. Still, even here, Shaq has the lead with 3.4 stocks against 2.8. To conclude the individual stats discussion, Shaq clearly has the edge on almost any major statistical category, while also being more efficient, also evidenced by the player efficiency rating, in which Shaq leads the entire league by a whopping margin, as Iverson sits at number 7. If you don't know this, the player efficiency rating, or PER, is a basketball rating which boils down a player's contribution into a single number. so there shouldn't be any discussion on who was the more efficient player. Now let's talk about team rosters. In all fairness, Shaq had a better supporting cast, especially playing alongside Kobe Bryant, as these two took turns in dominating games, and this also translates into a lower usage rate for Shaq compared to Iverson's. The Lakers' 12-man rotation included some proven role players that can make an impact anytime they get a chance to put up minutes. Besides Bryant, you have a great floor general in Derek Fisher, two veterans who have taken turns in playing on the Jordan's Bulls in the 90s, Ron Harper and Horace Grant, plus Mr. Clutchman himself, Robert Horry. Leading the team from the sideline, you get the great Phil Jackson. Definitely this lineup intimidates any opponent, and while Iverson loses the battle of rosters, a lot of people worship him for leading his weak team. But we need to have a closer look at who actually surrounds him, because this Philadelphia team is built better than many might think. First off, Philadelphia had 3 major award winners that season. Their coach, Larry Brown, won the Coach of the Year award after leading the team to 56 wins. Secondly, Aaron McKie won the 6th Man of the Year award as he provided the team with almost 12 points and 5 assists per game coming off the bench. And maybe the most important one, Philadelphia center Dikembe Mutombo won his 4th Defensive Player of the Year award. In addition, the roster also included 3 other decent players who all were flirting with double-double averages for the season: Eric Snow, Tyronn Hill, and George Lynch. So, although many consider this a one-man Allen Iverson show, the team was actually deeper than many think. A great defensive team with a well-rounded cast. Moving on, let's also discuss about team success, because this is a heavy component of the MVP voting. The Lakers and the Sixers play in different conferences, and at that time the West had much more star power. The East mostly had only one superstar per team, examples being Vince Carter in Toronto or Ray Allen in Milwaukee. On the other side, the West had double or triple-headed juggernauts, as Tim Duncan and David Robinson on the Spurs, or Dirk Nowitzki, Steve Nash, and Michael Finley in Dallas. In conclusion, the Western Conference was more competitive, and this is seen in the overall standings as well. These are the teams that made the playoffs in each conference. Just by checking the win and loss columns, it's safe to say that Iverson benefited of playing against easier matchups more often. To put it in perspective, the 5th seeded team in the East would be tied for the 8th seed in the West. Coming back to our main teams, the Sixers and the Lakers had an identical record for the season, finishing 1st and 2nd respectively in their conference. Keep in mind that the Lakers had tougher matchups during the season. So, if Shaq were to play in the East, that would easily account for 5 more wins. But I'm trying not to speculate here, let's stick to the facts. Finally, this is a rare season in which the main MVP candidates actually face each other in the NBA Finals. I know that the MVP is a regular season award, but as long as we're revisiting history here, it's important to look back at this historic finals battle of the last 2 MVPs at that moment. This was also a battle of one of the best offensive teams of the year, the Lakers, against one of the best defenses in the league, the Sixers. What Iverson did in that first game of the series was a performance for the ages, as he put up 48 points in an overtime win in the finals. What's even more impressive is that this game was the only loss the Lakers had in their entire playoff run in 2001, and it took a superhuman effort from Iverson to pull this off. For good measure, Shaq also put up a great Game 1 by posting a 44-point, 20-rebound double-double. After this, the Lakers went on a 4-0 streak to end the finals and capture their 2nd straight championship, with Shaq taking the final revenge on Iverson by also winning the finals MVP in their head-to-head matchup. Before drawing the final conclusion, what Iverson did over the entire 01 season was spectacular, and he deserved an MVP at least as a recognition for his entire career and contribution to the league. In this video, we compared AI and Shaq's individual stats, rosters, team success, and their direct matchup in the finals. Besides having an arguably worse roster surrounding him, Iverson loses all three other battles. But my final argument is this one. While Iverson continues to inspire people from all over the world that you can make it on the big stage, no matter your height or weight, we will definitely not see a player so powerful and skilled as a big man that can match Shaquille O'Neal's volume and efficiency, especially on offense. And it's mesmerizing that he only received one MVP trophy in his career. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know who else do you think got snubbed of an MVP award, and maybe there will be an episode about it. Thanks for watching.